Good morning, folks. John Pastorek on behalf of the Slate Run Tackle Shop. Tom couldn't do this video this morning. He was too busy, so I'm standing in for him. I thought I'd do it on the banks of Pine Creek here. You can see it's low, it's clear. Water temperatures are high. Yesterday evening I was here and took the temperature at 82 degrees. That's certainly lethal for trout. I was up on the runs as well, up on Slate Run in 3 different places. Water temperature was 68 degrees. That's pretty tough for those wild trout. 68 degrees is certainly in their lethal range. And I would encourage people to not target trout either here on Pine Creek or in the runs right now. Let's give the trout a break. Slate and cedar were hit pretty hard this spring with anglers, which is fine, but now is the time to let those fish try to just simply survive. Here on Pine Creek, we're going to see a fish kill probably about every 7 years. We see a fish kill here. Can also see a fish kill up on Slate and cedar runs too. So again, please don't target the trout. Last night I was just simply walking. I didn't bring a fly rod with me. I didn't want to bother the fish. I hiked along Slate and up into the tributaries and some along Pine, taking the water temperatures. Especially if you're going to fish Pine Creek for trout, especially, please don't target them at the mouths of the feeder streams. Naval Run's right down here to my right. Slate Run, of course, Cedar Run, all the runs, Little Slate Run come in. Those fish are trying to survive, and they may survive if they could get the influx of the cooler water. So let's try to give them a break, see if they can survive, and then we could fish back for them in the fall. So right now, Pine is running at 167 cubic feet per second. The depth is about 1.34 feet. So that's pretty low. You can see it on the camera here. So, however, smallmouth fishing can be very good. I was talking to a gentleman a couple of evenings ago at this store, and he caught some really nice smallmouth. So you can fish the same water as you can in the stretch or elsewhere on Pine. With flies, you could use poppers, clouser minnows. I like to use tan-colored woolly buggers. I think they replicate the crayfish. So you might want to step up in the equipment. Instead of a 3-weight or a 4-weight, you might want to step up to a 5 or 6-weight rig and fish. And I think you'll have a ball catching the smallmouth. They fight, they hit pretty heavily, and just a lot of fun. So as far as the Brown Trout Club goes, we're doing well. I want to thank everybody on behalf of Tom Finkbeiner and the store and the board of directors and all those who help. Thank you, and especially Jed. We don't give Jed Grove enough credit, but he's the one that makes the sales. When you come into the shop, Jed is the one that reminds you that it's time to renew your Brown Trout Club membership. So thank you, Jed. Fall will be here before we know it, and if we have the fish kill in Pine, which looks very possible, there might not be a lot of trout here unless we get that stocking in. So we're planning on doing a stocking in September or early October, but we need your support. So thank you if you already supported. If you haven't, boy, those funds will come in handy to do the fall stocking. So we always will need your support. As far as the store goes, I want to let you know that on July 3rd, 4th, and 5th, that's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday this year, at Wolf's General Store, Castle Vineyards of Hershey will be here doing a tasting. They'll also have bottles for sale. They have award-winning wines and ciders, and they did it last year here at Wolf's store, and I think sold every bottle of wine they had. And let me tell you, that wine is delicious. So you'll want to stop in there. Also stop in the shop, and still making the sandwiches, and have some new product lines of various products that will be in this newsletter you'll see. So stop in and support the shop. Everybody's doing well there. I also had the opportunity to meet with Jeff Swingholm at the shop a couple of weeks ago. Jeff and his crew are the people that put together the Mountain Souls documentary. It's a documentary about the lives of Bob and Dottie Weber. They lived in a cabin right up over the hill here. They lived on a cabin for many years in a simple life. No electricity, no running water. That's the way they preferred it, and they got along very well there. They are responsible for developing the Black Forest Trail and many other trails in the area. They not only developed them, but they kept them free and open and free of debris and fallen trees, and they maintained them for all those years. Bob was a retired forester with the DCNR. So Jeff and his crew put together this documentary in part to raise funds to help volunteers get the supplies and equipment they need to go and keep the trails clear, as Bob and Dottie did all those years, but also to raise money to give a scholarship every year to a forestry student or somebody with a similar educational pursuit. Bob and Dottie, we can learn a lot from this video about how they lived and the simpler life, especially in these days as things get more and more complicated. But also the film gets into some of the infrastructure of the Pine Creek Valley and a glimpse into the history of it, and I think anybody that likes this area will really enjoy that film. So you can go to mountainsouls.com, check out the documentary. There'll be a trailer on there, and stay tuned to this newsletter because we'll be having more and more stuff about Mountain Souls, the documentary, on here. Other than that, I hope I did a good enough video for you that gives you a glimpse into the conditions here. Again, we ask you to not target trout on pine. If you're going to go up Slate and Cedar, just go up and hike and take pictures, and you'll enjoy things there. And before we know it, fall will be here and fishing will be good again. So thank you, and we hope to see you at the Slate Run Tackle Shop or Wolf's General Store or on the banks of Pine Creek. Thanks.